I'm Jessica Flores.
I'm Samantha John.
Whenever I think about moving into a new home, I feel anxiety. The stress from packing and unpacking, worrying about if my new neighbors are going to like me or not. My name is Caleb Gary, and I just moved into my first single-family home. I moved around a lot as a kid. I never stayed in one home for more than 3 years. Today I'm going to talk to you about why people move, how often they move, the stresses associated with moving, and why schools and places of employment should offer support for those who are moving. Now, moving is a big topic, and we have a lot to unpack here. So why do people move? According to Census.gov, there are multiple reasons that people move in America. People go from renting to owning a home. Some people just want a bigger home. And on top of that, sometimes people's dynamics change, such as having a kid or having a divorce. Since there are so many different reasons that Americans move, moving is a very, very common event that impacts many people. So how often do people typically move? According to Forbes.com, although moving rates in America have been steadily declining since 2018, especially with the addition of COVID in 2019, moving rates still sit around 12.6% of Americans moving every year. With so many movers and so many moving parts, many people can relate to the stresses of moving. So what are some common challenges involved in moving? There are many logistical challenges, such as finding a new home, coordinating the actual move, packing and unpacking. Me personally, I hate getting rid of my possessions. I'm not a hoarder, but it can be hard figuring out what to get rid of, especially when certain things hold sentimental value. It can feel like you're throwing a part of yourself away. There are financial stresses associated with moving, such as U-Haul rentals. You have to pay for boxes now. If you're getting out of a lease because you have to pay money to break it. If you sign a new lease, you have to put money up front to sign the lease. If you're buying a home, you have to pay closing costs. I just paid just over $30,000 in closing costs for this home. According to firstsession.com, there are various psychological effects of moving. They primarily are centered around the feeling of being uprooted and our daily routines being changed. I don't just speak for myself when I say that change is hard. Moving is not easy, and that doesn't just include moving residences. Being the new person is stressful. You need time to acclimate. When I was in my youth, I went to 4 different elementary schools, 3 different middle schools, and 3 different high schools. I was no stranger to being the new kid, and no stranger to always feeling like a stranger. Children need time to adjust to their new environment. Rebecca Seacrest, in an article from edutopia.com, states that students shouldn't be expected to trust their teachers, the school, the other students. They should be allowed time and space to build that trust. It takes a lot to adapt to change. Many people move because they have a change in employment. I moved to Maryland just about 2 years ago for that very reason. Being the new hire can oftentimes feel like being the new kid at school again. Adults also need time to acclimate. So what would that look like? When I was in the military, you would get a week of PTO dedicated to moving into your new home. This relieves some of the pressure since you're getting paid while having time to warm up to the new neighborhood. All employees should have a week of just training. They should be paid for a full week of work, but the days should be short, between 3 to 4 hours. This will allow them time to go home and unpack every day while they ease into their new environments. Students should have a week without any graded assignments. This will give them time to get used to the environment without any added pressures. In conclusion, moving is a very stressful experience, and schools and jobs should be required to give mandatory grace periods to new movers. Today we talked about the reasons that people move, how common moving is, the challenges with moving, and how jobs and schools can help aid in the experience. Moving is like having the flu. Being the new hire or new kid is like eating hot soup while you have the flu. It is already an uncomfortable experience because you have the flu. Now, do you want to start gulping the soup down while it's still scalding hot and risk burning your mouth? You will feel better eventually, but do you want to make the experience even less comfortable? Or do you want to sip the soup slowly? Do you want to take your time and let it cool off a bit? Moving is extremely stressful, and we need time to cool off a bit. Thank you.